Oh, that's weird.
Okay, so I hear someone's not muted. Let's see. Mute all. There we go.
I'm not muted.
You're not muted. Can you
Uh-uh.
mute? Can you
I'll,
mute? Okay. Is everybody? Can you hear? Okay. Okay. All right. Welcome back. I'm just gonna remind you, if you do have 2 yoga blocks, have them handy. Or if you have 4 yoga blocks, if there's 2 of you, like Jeff and Eve. If you don't have the blocks handy, that's fine too. We're going to get started seated in an upright position. If you need the support of a wall, you can sit against the wall. So we're going to just sit up upright. And I'm going to start with a meditation. And this meditation is to soften and to open your heart. And we're going to start right now. So again, sitting in an upright position, let's just sit up and find our center. Take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. And a deep, slow breath out through your mouth. Bring your hands one on top of the other to your heart center. Take a deep breath. And a deep breath out. Let your eyes fall closed. With your eyes closed, let the awareness fall to the center of your chest where your hands are resting, your heart. And just breathe naturally there. In this meditation, you imagine the breath coming in and out of your heart. Let each inhalation caress your heart. Let each exhalation soften your heart. And you can release your hands if you'd like to your legs. Again, with each inhalation, caress your heart space. And with each exhalation, let that space soften and relax. Now visualize a golden flame in the center of your chest at your heart. As you visualize that golden flame in the center of your chest, go a little further and visualize the color of the flame. Maybe go a little further and visualize the warmth of the flame. With each inhale, the flame grows. And with each exhale, the heat and warmth from the flame radiates light from your heart through your body. So try that. As you inhale, feel the flame. The inhale, you feel it. It grows warmer, brighter. With each exhale, it travels and radiates the light and warmth. Now feel the light in the front of your body, the sides of your body, the back of your body. Try it again. With an inhale, let the flame grow in the heart and the center of your chest. With the exhale, let the flame radiate and let your heart soften. Let that heat and that glow continue to radiate, to spread to your shoulders, to your fingers, to your legs, to your toes. And the purpose of this meditation is to first find that flame of the heart for yourself, and then let it radiate and spread throughout yourself, throughout your body. And then maybe if you're ready and willing, offer that flame to the people in your life, or to your neighbors, or to your family. Let's take a few more breaths with that heart and that flame. And as we practice, try to keep that flame burning and the heart glowing and that flame spreading and radiating. Let's take one more deep breath in and out, and then we'll let our eyes open. All right, so let's begin to shift now from that seated upright position back to our shins, sitting on our shins. And have your blocks in front on the low level if you're using them. We're going to prepare to take a child's pose, and I'm going to offer you this variation for the first one with the blocks. So sitting up on your shins, you can open your knees out wide if you'd like, and then start to let your heart, offer your heart forward, and let your palms rest on those blocks. Take it slowly. If you don't have blocks, just let your hands rest on the mat, and let your forehead lie on the mat now. Keep the flame going. Keep the heat, the warmth, the glow of that flame as you take a few breaths in child's pose. Supported child's pose with the hands on the blocks. Last breath here, and then if you are ready, just push the blocks aside, push them forward or to the side. We're not going to need them now. We're in just a regular extended child's pose. Take 2 more gentle breaths. And I thought the image of the flame would be good to heat us up and to warm us up too, because it is cold. All right, now we're going to lift our head and offer our heart forward and begin to walk our hands to the right. And come to your edge to the right where you feel a stretch, and then bend the right arm and press into the right palm. And hold here. Take a few more of those flame breaths. Let that breath radiate, that heat radiate. Good, last one. Remember, the right arm is bent in this variation, pressing into the right hand. And then stretch the right arm straight and come back to center and back down to child's pose. If you'd like, you can relax your arms. Good, now let's lift the head, the face, offer the heart, and begin to walk your hands off to the left. And when you find your edge where you don't want to go any further, bend the left arm, rest into the left hand, and hold here. With focus on the right side of your body, the left side of your body. And then stretch your left arm out, walk the hands back to center, and our last 4 breaths in child's pose. You can do any variation with the arms that you'd like. I'll count out 4 breaths. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's come up to the top of our tabletop position. Fingers pointing forward. So I want you to move through cat-cow now, feeling each movement. Offer the heart, lift the tail, cow, and then look back at your heart and really feel the skin stretch and your back and your shoulders, cat. So do 4 more. Maybe you're clawing them out with your fingers. Maybe you're just pressing straight down. Last 2. Feel that flame breath heating and warming the back body now. All right, and then let's come to just neutral. Now something for the wrists. So let's try to turn the palms out now, maybe just so they face out, kind of like this position. And do a few cat-cows here. Inhale and exhale. And then if you'd like to even get a little more stretch and a little more openness in the forearms, you can flip the fingers to face towards your knees, if that's available to you, and do a few more cat-cows. Getting a nicer stretch on the forearms. Last one. And then try to gently release and bring your hands back down to the ground. And if you have your blocks available, bring them close to you. And I thought I'd try a different variation of downward dog with you guys today. If you don't have blocks, don't worry, just do the regular one. If you want to try the blocks, press into your hands. Now we're going to move in stages. Curl your toes and lift your knees, hover. Come down and rest. Now uncurl your toes and press into your blocks. Hover, lift your knees, pressing into the tops of your feet. Good, come down and rest. Curl your toes one more time and slowly lift your knees, lift your hips, and take this version of downward dog with the hands on the yoga blocks, if they're there with you. And go at your own pace. We're all feeling different this morning. Perhaps you're pedaling out. Perhaps you're keeping your knees relaxed and bent and just taking your head. So take a moment to just feel your body and where you're at today. We're going to do a lot of work for the hamstrings and the hips today. All right, one more breath. And then let's come back down to our knees and we'll set the blocks off to the side if we're if you have them, if you're using them. All right, so now we're going to do a regular downward dog. Press into it. So walk your hands about a handprint in front. Tuck your toes and then extend your hips high as you're ready to enter this traditional downward dog. And remember, try to make a V with your body. It should look like an inverted V. Lengthen the spine. Press away from the floor as you lengthen and extend your spine. And then we're going to look forward and walk slowly to the front of our mat. And keep your knees bent. We're going to grab the elbows and let the head drop. So keep your legs bent and let the low back, the lumbar, decompress, just hanging here. Hanging or swaying, whatever you like. The low back, the lumbar is decompressing. Head is hanging and dropping. Good. One more breath and then we'll release the arms. Tuck the chin, press into your feet, and we're going to roll slowly up, nice and slow. Give your spine a gift, roll up nice and slow. Once the crown of your head is up, circle your arms up, and then release your arms back down. We're going to do two more like that, a very gentle flow. Feet or hips width apart. Inhale, stretch up with your arms. And lift and lengthen. And then relax and release. Bend the knees and fold. Let your head drop even more. Now find a flat back. Extend your spine. And then as you exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, stretch out your arms or roll slowly up. And reach the arms high. And then hands rest at the chest. We're just going to do one more. Inhale, stretch out your arms, reach up, press into your feet. And then exhale, release everything as you dive forward. Let your head go. Find a flat back. You can use your blocks or your block. Press your hands if you'd like. Find that extension in the spine. And then release and let your head come down even further. Let's do one more. Find that extension, that flat back. And then exhale and fold. We're going to put our hands on the mat and step one leg back at a time and find plank pose. And you can drop your knees if you'd like. Engage your core. From plank pose, put your knees down and come all the way down to your belly. Hopefully you can see. Stretch all the way down to your belly and reach your arms in front. face down. So find true extension in your spine here. Press into the tops of your feet. And then relax. Take a few breaths. Continuing that flame breath, let the flame, the glow, and the heat spread to your back body. And then we're going to raise the right arm a couple inches from the ground and the left leg. Keep the head on the mat. Good, release. And then left arm, right leg. And release. Let's do it a few more times. Right arm, left leg. Release. Left arm, right leg. And release. Now bend your elbows and get ready to cactus your arms and lift your face a couple inches from the mat. Press down in the top of your feet. Let the shoulders roll down the back. Then take your arms straight back like you're reaching for your toes, lifting your shoulders away from your ears. And then bending the arms again, planting your hands, lowering your forehead to the mat. And with an exhale, lifting your heart into a low cobra. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Letting your heart roll forward. Good. Last breath here in a baby cobra. Lower your heart back down. Lower your head back down. Press back to a child's pose. Take your time. Taking it back to a child's pose. One more breath. Good. And then we're going to slowly come back up. Reach for your blocks if you have them handy. And they can either be on the low, the medium, or the high level. You'll know what you need. I'm going to start with the high level. Step your right foot forward. And if you don't have blocks today, just use books or your fingertips or how we usually do it. All right, so let yourself come to a lunge pose here. And press your hands into the blocks. Let your shoulders relax. Find that extension. And draw your right hip back. From here, we're going to lift our arms up. And then we're going to cactus the arms. We're going to repeat that a few times. Inhale, reach straight up, feel the lift. Exhale, sink into your hips a little more. Be part of the process, be involved in it. And then back to your lunge. Bring your hands back to those blocks. And then we'll step the right knee back and switch sides. Take the left foot forward. So your blocks can be high or low. And find your lunge. Let your hips relax and sink. Find a little more lift in your spine. And then we'll raise the arms up. Inhale. And then exhale, cactus. Go for it. 4 more times. Good, and then finally place your hands all the way back down. And take that left knee back to the right. Let's go again. Bring the right foot up again. With or without blocks, it doesn't matter. Tuck your left toes and lift the left knee off the mat. Hover and breathe. And then maybe raise your right arm and twist to the right. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back down, lower the hand, the knee, and change legs. We're going to take the left foot forward again, back to that lunge. Curl your right toes and lift your right knee, or try to anyway. Anytime you want to modify, feel free to do that. Maybe raise your left arm and take that twist to the left. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hand, lower the back knee, and bring that left knee back. Let's try one more child's pose with or without the blocks. You can maybe put a block under your head or your hands. Hold here for a couple more breaths. All right, and then back up. All right, moving on, with or without the blocks, let's step the right foot forward again. And let's slide the foot forward. The whole foot is on the mat. Press into the blocks, or maybe just bring your hand to the leg if you don't have blocks. Keep the knee bent, and then slide it a little more forward and flex the foot, lifting the toes off the mat. And you can press into your blocks or not. Keep breathing, and imagine maybe sliding the foot a little more forward, almost as if we're preparing to go into a split. Keep the lifting your spine. Good, and then slide the foot back, and we'll switch. Change sides, bring the left foot to lunge. Slide it forward, keeping the leg kind of bent and the foot on the ground. And then slide it forward a little more and flex the foot. A dorsal flexion of the foot, I think it's called. Slide it a little more forward if you'd like you're almost going to go into a split. Stretching that left leg as far forward as feels safe to you. And then we'll slowly bring it all the way back. Good. All right, now put the blocks aside. We're not going to need them right now. Let's press our hands into the floor and get ready to come up once again to down dog. Notice how the backs of your legs feel, hips, your shoulders. And then we're going to walk our feet to the hands or close to the hands and go into that forward fold again. Grab the elbows again. Your knees can be as bent as you'd like. Head is hanging. Then release the grab of the elbows. Come to your flat back. Find extension in your spine. Remember monkey pose. You can put your hands high up on your legs if you'd like. Or you can use your block if you'd like. Keep the belly drawing in, low ribs drawing in. And then from here, release the forward fold and roll or rise all the way up. And we're going to circle the arms slowly all the way up. And then hands come all the way down. We're going to try a balance pose and then a couple standing poses before we come back down to the mat and have a nice longer Shavasana today. All right, so we're just going to do tree pose today with a support or without a support. And maybe we'll do it twice for those of us that have blocks. We can try it actually standing on a block. So let's step into the right foot and feel the mobility of your left hip. You can open up low tree or bring it higher. Wherever you are, really seal the foot and the inner thigh together. Join your hands. Find a spot to gaze at, to keep your eyes softly gazing at, and maybe reach your arms overhead or not. It's up to you. Relax and just enjoy practicing tree pose. But be careful that you don't press the foot into the knee. It's either above the knee or below the knee for proper alignment. One more deep breath. Sealing the foot into the thigh into the foot, and then come all the way back down with your hands and come back down to the breath. Shake it out. We're going to do the same thing, just change sides. Weight is on the left foot. Find the openness in the right hip. It could be a low tree, a supported hand on the wall tree, or a tree, regular tree. Seal the foot into the inner thigh. Use all 5 toes. Hands to your heart or reach the arms overhead. That flame in your heart spread out to the roots, to the branches. Good, last breath. And then hands slowly come back down to your heart and bring your foot down. Shake it out. A couple more standing poses. You might want to have your blocks handy. So the first one, we won't need the blocks. We're just going to step to the back of your mat and then step that right foot forward. Warrior pose 1. Virabhadrasana 1. Feet are about hips width apart. Bend your right knee and offer the arms up. Palms facing forward or towards one another, whatever you like. From here, we're going to inhale, find the form and the alignment that feels stable, and then exhale, bend those elbows, cactus. Again, just like we did in the low lunge, stretch the arms, bend the arms, sink into the lunge. So let's offer that 2 more times, and then we'll end with cactus arms. Keeping the elbows bent, turn your head to the right and to the left. Look up, look down. Good, and then slowly stretch the arms up, straighten the leg, and release. Pivot the feet to center. All right, we're going to use the block for this pose now. Straddle, wide-legged forward fold. So have your block, high, medium, or low, right in the center. Hands on your hips. If you don't have a block, it's fine. Inhale. And then exhale to find that flat back. Bring your hands to the block, any height you'd like. So we're starting with a flat back. Enjoy that long spine. That includes your neck. And you can, if you do have a block, you can experiment. You can lower it more or make it higher. Keeping that long back, let's move our block to the right foot or walk our hands to the right foot. Feel free to bend your knees as much as you need. Let the breath, the inhale, soften and relax your heart with each breath in and out. Good. Let's carry the block to the left or walk your hands to the left. Same thing, fold over the leg, using the block to help lift the earth towards us, to make it a little more gentle. Now let's carry or walk the block back to the center, and we'll add a twist here. Let yourself go, let your head hang for a breath, and then come back up to that flat back. Keep the left hand on your yoga block or on the floor, and raise your right arm. Let's hold for a few breaths. Hopefully your head is nice and in line with your neck and spine. It's not hanging. That would hurt. And then let's change sides. Right hand to the floor or the block. Raise your left arm. and then back to the center. Bring your hands to your waist and rise all the way up. Heel toe your feet or step your feet together just for a moment. Okay, next two poses are just basically side angle. So walk your feet out wide again, and let's turn the right toes to the short edge of the mat. Bend your right knee, rest your right arm on the thigh, and stretch your left arm up to the ceiling or sky. This version might feel good, or you might want to stretch the left arm over your overhead. All right, and let's press back up. Change sides. So turn, spin the feet. Now bend the left knee. You're going to use the left arm on the left thigh for side angle. Right arm reaches up or overhead. 3 more breaths. Good. And then press gently all the way up. Let's straddle the feet again for that forward fold. This time, swim the arms back, clasp your hands. Open the chest up towards the sky. Feel the flame, the glow, the heat, and then let yourself find flat back, and then let your head hang. Just a few breaths here. Eyes can be open or shut. You can even shake out your head. Good, big breath in and out to release your hands down to the mat. Are you ready for a squat before we come down? If not, just do a baby, a small one. So heel toe your feet a little closer in, and you can just do a half squat, or you can come down and do a deeper squat. In fact, if you have a sturdy yoga block, you can even sit on the yoga block to make the squat more accessible. Last couple breaths in our squat, with or without the block. And then we're going to come down and release to the mat just for a breath. Crisscross your legs and sit in that seated upright position again. Inhale and exhale. And then one stretch for the toes. So let's move from cross-legged up to our shins again. And as you're on your shins and hands, curl your toes behind you. Try to stretch out all of your toes. Make contact with with the mat with all of your toes. And then stretch your buttocks back. Your hands can be on the ground, and just enjoy stretching out the toes, the feet. If you want to go deeper, you can walk your hands up to your thighs and sit upright. That version's a little deeper. So either here or here. And then maybe even raise your arms up if you're seated in the second version. Look up, take a nice breath, and then bring yourself back down, hands to the mat, untuck your toes, and tap out the tops of your feet. All right, then we're going to release back to that seated upright position. Maybe put the other leg on top or other leg in front. In that nice tall seated upright position, let's take a twist here. So reach behind you with the right hand, left hand presses on the right leg. Inhale, roll your spine tall. Exhale, a little rotation. Don't press too deep. And just pause to reflect on what the breath feels like as you're breathing here. Where you feel it. Good. We'll slowly come back to center and then repeat on the other side. Left hand behind us, right hand presses on the left knee. Inhale, upright. Exhale, rotate. Really notice what the breath is doing, where you're feeling it. And then slowly back to the center. So from here, we're going to stretch our legs forward, keep the knees bent, really firmly press your feet onto the mat, and then roll down to lie on your back. And if you have your blocks, you can have them on either side of you. We'll use them a little later. So roll down to your back. Oh, right. I wanted to do a bridge pose. So if you're using the block, if you have a block, we're going to use it. Squeeze it tightly between your thighs. Palms pressed down, look up at the ceiling. And as you're squeezing your yoga block, lift your hips into bridge. On the next exhale, lower your hips back down. Do it a couple times. Get the feel of squeezing the block and lifting your hips. Squeeze the block, lift your hips last time, and then hold here. If you don't have a block, that's okay. Last breath, and then slowly come back down and release the block. All right, we're going to cross that left ankle over the right knee and either just press it away or lift the feet off the ground and hold behind the right leg. And as you're holding reclining pigeon, I want you to feel that your hips are stretching away from your ribs, away from your shoulders, getting a nice length in your low back. Last breath here. Maybe stretch the right leg up to the ceiling for that last breath and point and flex your foot. Good. And then bend the legs, release your hands. Hands to the ground. We're going to let our knees fall to the right, and maybe they land on that yoga block. Turn your face to the left. And if your legs are not on the yoga block, just let them rest on the floor. Maybe your palms turn face up, maybe face down. Open your eyes, look straight up at the ceiling, and bring the legs up. And we'll try the other side. Feet on the ground, cross the right ankle over the left knee. Position it so it feels good. Maybe just press the right leg away. Very gentle, or maybe lift the leg in the air and hold behind the left. So reclining pigeon your way. Just going to peek at you guys and see how you're doing. And maybe stretching that left leg high, maybe not. You know, get into your body, feel what you're feeling. And then after we'll get ready for the twist now. So we're going to, if the left leg's in the air, just let it come back where it was and let your knees fall off to the left. Maybe they land on that yoga block. Look right. Close your eyes. Relax your whole body here. Palms face up or down. Good. Look up at the ceiling. Bring the legs up. And then just relax and hug the knees in towards your chest. Any way that feels good. Massage out your back. And then if you can, use your peace fingers to reach your big toes and take happy baby. Or take happy baby any variation that you'd like. Keep your back on the ground for this, tailbone on the ground. And you can rock back and forth. You can stretch one leg straight and the other, or just lie flat and look up. 4 more breaths here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Come back and give those knees a gentle, loose hug. And now we get ready for our last pose, which is our warm blanketed Shavasana. So make sure you're not going to be disturbed by anyone in the house. We're going to release on the floor now. You can, if you have 2 blankets, you can actually use 2 of them, and I'll show you how. I just said 1, but if you have 2, you can roll one of them up and put it under your knees and lie back that way, and then put the other blanket on top. Rolling a blanket under your knees is kind of a nice, gentle way to take Shavasana. If you don't have a blanket, you can use a pillow from your couch, maybe. Whatever the case, we're setting ourselves up for a nice, warm, cozy Shavasana. Right, Colleen? It looks like you're getting ready. You have all the props. Good girl. Foam roller. That's good. So I want you to receive as many benefits from this nice, warm, cozy Shavasana as you can this morning. Now, I don't know, maybe you got a fire going. Maybe you're feeling even cozier. So once you're set up with your blankets, your pillows, maybe even blocks, I don't know. Take a few conscious breaths, eyes closed. Make sure you're covered completely, nice and warm, like a little cocoon. Few conscious breaths. Connect to that letting go energy. We've done our gentle practice, and now we're just letting go. We've moved energy throughout our body, from our heart. Now the energy just needs to be healing and balancing. Healing and balancing. This is where we integrate all of the conscious energy that we moved and shifted, lifted and lowered, stretched to the side and twisted. Now it just all becomes integrated in our whole being. With every breath out, really release into the ground under your cozy blanket. Enjoy your Shavasana. And today, actually, I'm going to encourage you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. And I'm going to sign out from the class now. We're going to all stay in our Shavasanas. This is a gift for you this